Saturday Social is powered by FIFA 22 with PlayStation.
Hello and welcome to a very special Team of the Year discussion with our good friends at EA Sports. I'm Adam Smith, alongside me, Joe Tomlinson. And Joe, we've put in two stellar guests for this.
Huge
in the form of YouTuber Chris MD and podcaster Flav. Now here's how it's going to work. EA have shortlisted the best 80 players from the past 12 months, and it's up to Chris and Flav to pick their best 11 players based on the 80 that have been shortlisted. It's not going to be easy,
This is going to be tough. It's going to be tough. And we want you guys at home to get involved as well. You can click the link in the description below or go to the one on screen now and cast your vote as to who you think of the 80 players should make the final Team of the Year. This is going to be tough.
It is.
So we'll start with the goalkeeper. Here are the candidates on screen now that are available for selection. Some huge names there. But I'm hearing rumours that you're both agreeing on a goalkeeper already.
We've both agreed on Mendy.
Also, not together. This is independent of each other.
Yes, separately.
Just randomly.
We've both submitted our teams. I think Mendy is the standout goalkeeper. Donnarumma obviously won the Euros, possibly ability-wise, up there as well. But Mendy, his save percentage was ridiculous this season for Chelsea. Their defence has been absolutely incredible. I don't think it's too much.
Also, a player who hasn't played 100 top-flight league games, and you can see his quality already. I think there was some question marks about why Chelsea were going out to buy another keeper so soon after Kepa. I know his form was debatable and perhaps not where Chelsea needed it to be, but to spend big on another goalkeeper, it was a lot of pressure on him to perform, and then for them to go on and win the Champions League, and that he'd never experienced anything like that. And for him to just be as demanding and commanding as he was. The other shout I was going to say was Martinez, just because look at the names he's with and where he's come from. He's getting bummed out of Arsenal, hasn't played a game for like 10 years, and then goes to Villa and he's outstanding, but just what Mendy's done.
We saw the list of contenders there, goalkeepers. They both agree, so I think we can move straight on. List of top keepers as we saw, but Mendy takes it in agreement for the first one. Let's move on to defenders and have a look at ones that have been shortlisted by EA. So there's a lot of names there. We'll leave this on screen for you to dissect all of the names for a little while. I won't read all of them, but as you can see, as always with the Team of the Year, some very good players in this, making it not particularly easy.
I think.
But who you gone with for right back? Let's start with right back.
Right back. I just want to say the aim of this is to try and offend as few people as possible. That's the only point.
Just getting that in early.
Yeah, right back. I've gone with Trent because I think Trent, his attacking output has been something we've literally not seen from a right back almost ever before. He's not a right back basically. He's a midfielder that's playing right back, but being the most creative player in Liverpool teams in some games. So
he's just basically an entire right side.
Yeah, he is totally. And he just feeds Salah, and it's just incredibly OP. So I would say it has to be Trent.
So you're going with Trent. You're right, 108 chances created in the Premier League. First time ever for a defender. Most assists in the Premier League with 11 as well. Of course, these are for the calendar year, because it's Team of the Year for us, so from the calendar year. Do you agree with Trent?
I did. I also
went very friendly in the minute.
What's too friendly? We got to spice this up.
Where's Trippier?
It's even more Cancelo, and it just because he's done it consistently and gone through a bad patch, and then for him to come back and play as good as he is, like you said, he's an entire right-hand side. Yeah. He solves every problem down Liverpool's right-hand side, and not only that creates problems for other teams. It's hard to argue. I mean, I'll pick someone else if you want, but that's who I believe it should be.
I think Trent's absolutely fine. It's just outstanding.
I would agree with that. I mean, Hakimi, Kyle Walker, other players that were nominated, but I think
Hakimi, he won Serie A, right?
Yeah, Hakimi won Serie A with Inter and has gone to PSG. So
big move, wasn't it?
Huge
move. A very good shout as well. But I think Trent's attacking output, like I say, it's ridiculous.
Plus, Hakimi's doing it in a league that isn't at the level that the Premier League is at, without wishing to offend anyone. The competition is more difficult for Trent Alexander-Arnold to perform.
I like the fact they've both mentioned without meaning to offend anyone early. Just want to get that in early.
Very nice.
I've seen the YouTube comments. I've seen how it goes.
Let's have a move on to the first centre-back. And this could be the first disagreement area, I would say, because I've got in front of me two names. Flav, I've got in front of me Chiellini.
Why did you say like that?
Because you've got Ruben Diaz.
I have.
I just cannot understand the argument of Chiellini over Ruben Diaz for the last 12.
Yeah, but you said Chiellini like he shouldn't even be in the list.
I think, look, this is a guy who made like under 20 Serie A appearances last year.
I'm talking about what he did in the Euros. Right?
Okay.
Okay, so not one player, as good as the level it was in the Euros, not one player got past Chiellini once. Not one. Not a single attacker made it past him, dribbled past him, not one. He made 0 errors that led to goals, and he made 0 errors that led to shots on goal. If this is a team about that would win trophies, that would win leagues, regardless of the tournament that he would be in, with his leadership, Chiellini for me is hands down.
I don't want to argue for Chris here, though, but
Chris.
I'm going to say, just quickly, he didn't win Serie A last season, so not necessarily a league win defender. You know, Ruben Dias did. He won the Premier League Player of the Year, Champions League Defender of the Year, the Carabao Cup as well. So I know the Euros was good, but...
Can I just
go on,
ask
Chris, you take it away.
Certainly the Euros is a higher level, though, right? It's international level.
But it's a knockout tournament, so you've got the aspect of luck. I'd say Premier League, you get found out.
But not allowing a single player to go past you isn't luck, is it? It's complete quality.
You could just run backwards, you know.
I don't think that's what he did, though.
Go on, who's he gone with?
Just out of interest, who was your other centre-back?
The other centre-back I had was Rudiger.
Rudiger, okay. So I would argue that Ruben Dias is a much stronger shout than Rudiger, personally. Because I think, like, player of the season, Premier League player of the season, I don't see how you can't put him in there.
Okay. Go on then.
That was easy.
Yeah, so right. But your other one, what was your other one?
Rudiger.
Right, okay.
Rudiger.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. But Ruben Dias was my straight.
But I approached this. I simply approached it like, okay, well, we can all just pick the best players or the best stats on FIFA, and that is important. It's important to a lot of people. But I was thinking, as a team that needs someone like Chiellini, all the experience in the world.
But this isn't picked on who I think would be the best in FIFA. Otherwise, I'd have some questionable. This is based on who I think has been the best in the last year.
Okay.
In 2021.
Yeah. Okay, so you're going with Ruben Dias over, and you've both gone Rudiger then. So
easy agreement.
Easy agreement. We can.
Rudiger, just quickly, just to mention him, what a season he's had.
Unbelievable.
Last season as well.
Unreal. And again, started off not in the best form. For Chelsea, big transfer, a lot of pressure, but unreal. Like he's up for a transfer. Is it free transfer at the end of the season?
Yeah, he's out of contract.
Really?
Someone's getting unless he stays at Chelsea, someone's getting an absolute world-class defender there for free.
Had a great year, and evident by the fact you both agree on him. So let's move straight on to the left-back position. Flav, who have you gone with for your left-back?
I've gone for Davies. Do you mind if I put that up?
No, go for it.
What was you in agreement?
I'll let him go up there for now. Yeah.
So you've gone Davies.
One of the most exciting left-backs I've ever seen play against Spurs. Unbelievably talented, full of pace, full of excitement. I'd love to watch him play football, but most importantly, he's Canadian. He's actual Canadian. Not all his grandparents are Canadian and he's qualified. Listen to talk. He comes from Canada and he's the best left back in the world, in my opinion. I think that is
I like the fact you said most importantly.
That was the main. Forget the Bundesliga, forget the Super Cup, get the 7 assists. Canadian.
From the trajectory from being born in Canada to being the best left back in the world is something you will never see again, ever.
Okay.
And that's why he's in there.
Okay. I quite like that argument.
Oh, okay. Who did you go for?
I went for Cancelo. I know he doesn't play left back traditionally, but he can, and Pep has used him at left back. I think, just purely from being in such a strong Premier League side, this was a very close one for me. So I do think, he's very strong attacking as well, very strong defensively. Cancelo, you could maybe argue, has had it easier because City are so possession-based. I don't watch all that many Bayern Munich games, so I can't say I know all that much about their possession and stuff. But what I will say is that Cancelo doesn't have to defend all that much.
Right.
But attacking, he's very similar. Not on Trent's level.
I think even if Cancelo is the better footballer potentially, just based on the Canadian. We have to put him in there.
I thought that was a good point.
Okay,
I'm happy with that.
I was in a taxi coming over again. Is that worth mentioning? Unbelievable.
Absolutely worth mentioning. 100%. Let's move on to your first central midfielder then. Is there any that you agree on? For instance, Kante, I believe, potentially is in both of yours, because we can see the midfielders on screen now, and there's a big old list.
Yeah, let's put Kante in there just to help things out.
Do you both agree on Kante?
Absolutely,
Kante,
without question.
Easy one for you?
Yeah.
Kante,
It's very simple. Any midfield, he walks into any midfield in the world, I think. And, he's as solid as ever. He doesn't really
won the Champions League this year.
Best player in that position in the world for you, Chris?
Yes, I would say so. Yes.
It just delivers.
Yeah.
And he's one.
And his work rate is just phenomenal. I mean, the amount of managers that work with him that just say he does the job of 2 people. It's so cliche, but he does.
He does do that,
so
100%. But also, there's so much more to his game. He carries. He's carrying stats are unbelievable.
And
something like 79% successful.
Calendar year as well. Worth pointing out, he did get player of the match in a lot of Chelsea's big games in that run up to winning the Champions League as well. So
I would just from a playing Sunday league level, you know, when you come against like a player on the opposition team, and you look at it and you think, oh, for God's sake, like, he is that player that you look at and you just be like,
at world level.
Oh, no. What a nightmare.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, you agree?
I agree.
I think we all agree he's a top player.
Yeah, fine.
Kante. So who's next for you?
This, I'm just getting stressed out thinking about it because I made my decisions, but I'm still, it's a bit off. So you went with Kimmich, right?
Yes.
I think I might change, because I did go Thomas Muller, and I think he consistently is just an incredible player, assists-wise, creative-wise. I think Tadic might have broken the record for assists last season or something, but Muller still gets.
But in top 5 leagues, nobody came close to Muller. I think 30 assists across the calendar year. I think he's already got 16 this season.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
So it's a very close
one. 42 as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's probably still 23. It feels like 23 has never aged.
It does. But crucially, didn't score against England in the Euros, which was the most surprising thing about that tournament.
Sitter as well.
It was. Everyone thought it was in. It's crazy. But I think Thomas Muller, his assists, it's crazy. He's disrespected quite a lot. I think.
Do you think he's quite underrated, Thomas Muller? Because the levels that he has consistently put up year on year, he almost is like he's a bit underrated, isn't he? Because he's never spoken about it at the level of players that are in that same position as him.
Never, and obviously he's got. I think it's because he's got such a dominant Bayern team around him. He's got Lewandowski up front, so it's like. I think Kimmich just.
So you're both going with Kimmich then?
I think just for.
Why are you going Kimmich?
Well, yeah, my reason would be like in a midfield with the player we're about to bring in as well. I don't know if we're in agreement, but the player I think should be next after Kimmich and Kante would be perfect. He's with Kante's work rate plus his carrying ability, underrated carrying ability, plus Kimmich in midfield as well, who actually, in terms of goals and assists this season, is comparable to Gnabry and Davies. From a midfielder, is in his position, isn't to be sniffed at. Just the work that those two would do, any team coming up against it, they'd have an absolute horrendous time winning the ball in midfield and not being exposed to the break. So everything I'm saying is caveated by the next thing I'm going to choose. So,
which is what?
I personally don't agree with that because I'm a huge fan. So De Bruyne, right, is the next.
It took a long time to get De Bruyne. I was like,
we're teeing this one up.
I just, he's. If you were putting it ability-wise, like I said, Kante, CDM, Kante, best player in the world, but midfielder, De Bruyne is the best midfielder in the world, ability-wise. But I just think the last season. He has had injuries, but I think you've just got to look at what he did in 2021, and I don't know if he immediately gets in there for me.
No,
he might. But
who did you go for then?
So I'm looking at Jorginho now, and I don't know if I can do it because he came third in the Ballon d'Or.
You could still have Muller.
I could have Muller.
Yeah, well, where's your if you're in terms of where are you if you're
you've got to have a bit of balance.
Yeah, exactly. You need someone who's going to be a little bit more creative than that midfield if you're sticking in Jorginho.
I would. So if I was going to pick, I did initially pick Jorginho, but it's just going to hurt me too much because I think it's too based on what he's. I think he's an incredible player. Like I think he definitely does get underrated as well because his passing and stuff he does that's not, the fancy parts of the game does go under the radar. But I don't think. I mean, he didn't deserve to be third in the Ballon d'Or. He's 4 places above Salah, I think it was, which is stupid. So. I'm not that unhappy with De Bruyne in there, but I would have probably put Muller out of the or even Verratti. I hadn't even looked at Verratti. Verratti's
Need a
also
decision, guys.
Sorry, I'll leave De Bruyne in there.
Leave De Bruyne there. Okay,
leave De Bruyne up there. Good.
I rate that. Let us know what you think of that in the comments below. By the way, would you have included KDB or Thomas Muller in that role? Bit of debate there. Let's move into the forwards then, shall we? The list of forwards available here is huge, and it really is just
look at this,
stacked with the best footballers in the world, basically. Yeah. So very, very hard decisions going on here.
We probably could have put about 6 of these in if they could have made it into the
Should we get one out the way, though, I would suggest, is getting Mo Salah on there?
Yeah.
Sure, because you both agree.
Yeah, I was going to say,
waste time on it.
Surely we all agree Mo Salah goes in there, no-brainer for you all.
Yeah.
Unbelievable year.
Best player in the world.
Yeah.
The shade thrown on him for the Ballon d'Or was unreal as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what are the other 2 names?
Okay, so the other 2 names.
Personally, I also think Lewandowski is not debatable. I think he's been just one of the most incredible strikers.
It's hard to debate that, but I put Benzema in only because of the quality that he's produced. He's 34 now. He's playing probably the best football, and he's been consistently brilliant. Don't get me wrong, but in real football sense, you need someone who's going to link up. And I think Benzema is one of the best link-up forwards in world football at the moment. And with Salah and the next pick, who we're going to come to...
I think we're looking at this in two different ways, because I'm not thinking about chemistry or anything. I'm just thinking best player.
What, you're not doing the lines in that?
No, because I think it's just on ability.
69 goals in the calendar year. Lewandowski got 69.
Club and
Look,
country,
I'm not going to fight to the death for Benzema. I'm just thinking...
Benzema was my reserve.
He's close.
So
okay.
I'm also happy to say that.
OK, what's the third name then that you two are going to be debating between?
I'm wondering what you picked, because I can't see any... Wow.
I've gone with Lionel Messi.
Really?
But I mean, I think for winning the Ballon d'Or, you can't really...
Yeah, but that's like a...
I know it's
I don't
a
want to
bit
get
of a
too political, but it's so...
Yes, I know what you mean, but...
He wasn't the best player in the world, was he?
I would argue he was, because at the end of... I know this season he struggled at PSG coming into a new team, but for Barca, I have never seen a team carried more than the end of last season at Barca.
That's a great point.
I think he scored like 30 goals, got over 10 assists or whatever.
He's kind of disappeared into the ether at PSG now, hasn't he?
I know, but you look at Barca now once they've lost him, and I don't think you'd get more of a one-man team maybe than Chris Wood at Burnley.
I'm going to get crucified for taking Messi out of this team on the internet. You understand that, right? But I'm willing to do it.
Internet.
Yeah. Who do you want then?
Who do you want?
I'd have Haaland.
Okay.
So Haaland is... I've never been more excited for a player and what he's going to potentially do. I know it's about the last year and stuff. But this guy's a machine. All right, he's not better than Messi right now, and probably hasn't been in the last for all the reasons you just said. But just looking at that team on paper with Haaland in it, that's something else.
It's Haaland, yes. What, like 78 goals in 77 games for Dortmund or something?
So these are the levels. When people were starting to talk...
His goals to game ratio for Dortmund is absolutely incredible. You've got to bear in mind his age and how young he is. But as you said, Messi, Copa America, Ballon d'Or, Copa America MVP.
Of course, I think that helps.
Amazing year.
Fair enough.
But have I just changed my mind?
I ruined it when
no, look, it's not. I'm happy to change my mind because you can't get this wrong.
You would go with Haaland?
But the thing is when Haaland, the stats that Haaland, the goals and game ratio that he's pulling up, these were similar or comparable to what Messi and Ronaldo were doing when they were starting to come to the fore. Yeah. And Haaland's doing it with an additional level of pressure because there's the massive expectation around him and the transfer fee and all this expectation where he's coming next. Yeah. I love his demeanour. He's going to be the next superstar in world football.
So last position, Messi or Haaland? What are we saying?
Based on everything you said, I can't put Haaland in, but in terms of what I'd want to see play football, it would be Haaland, but obviously Messi, fine.
It's a great team as well, and it's
I've got to say,
really
it's not easy to do. It's a good team. So there is confirmation of the team. Some big hitters not in, the likes of Haaland, as you said, Benzema as
Ronaldo,
well. Ronaldo. You mentioned other players that weren't in there as well. But they are the final 11 that Flav and Chris have picked. Joe? Thoughts on that 11?
I think that's really strong. It's a very difficult job when there's 80 just the best footballers in the world, isn't it?
One thing I will say is you're not going to please everyone.
No, you're not going to please anyone, basically. No. Yeah. 10%.
Very true.
But on that, let us know what you think of Flav and Chris's team in the comments section below. That's all we've got time for. I hope you enjoyed it. See you soon.